and I started getting cost of $15,000 to fix. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm on the side of the road right now, stranded. Well, I had some idiot from Michigan in a gold Pontiac Sunfire that was extremely muddy cut me off on the road and just kind of let him go, and he was weaving in and out of traffic and he was going to cut me off again, so I went to speed up so he couldn't cut me off again and so he could stay in the right lane. And when I hit the accelerator on my 2013 Tesla Model S, all of a sudden a big pop happened, a weird noise happened, and I had no acceleration at all. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on. Immediately I'm thinking, are these motors some type of belt driven and a belt broke? Not exactly sure. So I have my tow company that I use here in Louisville come to get me and having the car towed to the dealership. I happen to be driving the car today because I was putting new tires on the car. So we're gonna get the tow company there. Hey, there's Dylan. There's Dylan. Woo! There's Dylan. He's coming to get my wife because she's in the car with me, and so he's gonna take her back. I'm gonna hang out here and wait for the tow truck to get here to take the Tesla back to the dealership. All right, Dylan to the rescue. What's up, buddy?
Hello.
No, there's no lights on it or anything. Well, one of the great things about being in the car business is I know the right people. And of course, I follow this over to my customers as well, that if they ever need help, I know the people to call. Like, they were here like in 15 minutes. Extremely, if this happening is an inconvenience, that is a big convenience. All right, so it's all loaded up. We are just gonna head to the dealership because the car is under some warranty still. A&A Towing here in Louisville, the best towing company out there. If you ever need towing, that's who to call here in Louisville. It's who I use exclusively for my clients, and like I was kind of showing you and telling you, they were here within 10 minutes. So we're gonna get this to the dealership. I'm gonna get on the horn with Tesla, have them come get it, and I think they'll give me a loaner car. So we'll see what they give me, and maybe I'll get a real P100D. By the way, I need to take these off. My wife's yelling at me to take them off. Are you scared? Are you scared about your car being up there?
Yeah. The only thing that I did is a new one.
Yeah, I think it'll be okay. Well, an update on the Tesla. It's at the Cincinnati Service Center. They're doing a fantastic job. They're communicating with me really, really well. And since, damn, you're breaking it, dude. So since I drove that here to put these brand new tires on it, I'm not gonna do that. Somebody just threw something at me. Devin. You know, the last video you were in, it went viral. It's got 2 million views, and people were like, look at the dude behind the truck. So I have no car here, so I have a chauffeur. So a couple days have passed, and all that video you just saw was Tuesday morning at about 9 a.m. on the side of the road. Well, it's now Friday after Thanksgiving, and the car is completely back from Cincinnati, Ohio service facility. I know exactly what's wrong. I had some ideas what was wrong, but you got to realize that I've never dealt with an electric car. I had no idea what was going on. Everything in my head, as the electric car community calls it, is ICE, internal combustion engine. So everything in my head is always ICE related, and so that was my thought process. So again, I gotta say big kudos to Tesla service facility in Cincinnati, Ohio. They did an absolute awesome job. They kept me in the loop, and really I'm going to take this video just a little bit further and say that the automotive industry has got a lot to learn from Tesla. So this is not my first time that I've dealt with Tesla service. I've dealt with them 2 other opportunities, and both times they've been absolutely phenomenal. Now, I'm told by Tesla people that 85% of the issues that happen on a Tesla can be done in the driveway. And now that I say that out loud, I'm thinking I've actually dealt with Tesla 4 times, not 3. So when we first got this last year, we had all sorts of issues with the cold weather, and it was a lot of learning stuff from us. We got all sorts of errors and whatnot, and they actually came to the dealership. I parked this car on the Chevrolet showroom floor. They did the work that needed to be done. So he informed me some things. He looked at some sensors, said they were all good, just need to be cleaned and stuff like that, and gave us some tips on how to do things. So in the second time is I talked about this on my YouTube channel, was the fire that almost happened with the Tesla. Not with the Tesla in general, with our charger that's right back there. Now I personally installed that charger, and I've got all the video on that, and I didn't air it because I just didn't like the way it was working out, so I never produced that video to the public. But I installed all of this back here on my own, and by no means am I an electrician, but I had the right things to do, and luckily my service panel was right there. My 220 I installed there, but it came into play that was the issue and not me. Thank goodness, because my wife is sitting right back there. Do you see her? She's playing video games on her phone. That's why I have it. That's why she has an iPhone X, so she can.
Facebook.
Oh, you're reading Facebook. You're reading Facebook now. She's not playing Candy Crush.
I don't play Candy Crush.
What's that other stupid game that you play?
I play a lot of stupid games.
Exactly. There we go. We have it on camera. Just like you say that this is your Corvette because you got the Facebook post screenshot. I've now got you to say that you play a lot of video games on your phone that's not meant for playing video games. Jeez. Anyways. Back to the subject in hand. So the second time was that they replaced that under warranty. Now the first instance was really I should have paid for, but they're like, you know, you're out of warranty, but don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. And it was a great thing. So the third thing was the airbag. We had a Takata airbag in the car, and they came right out here and they popped the airbag out and put the new airbag in. Very, very simple. And then we have this issue. And I believe, since it's been a few days, I believe I've kind of told the story that we were driving and all of a sudden a big pop happened. I had no power out of the car, and this car coasted for almost a mile, maybe even longer. I think I knew where I was at when it popped, and because there's no transmission on this car, I was still stayed in drive, and the car just coasted forever. It allowed me to get to a safe location, as you saw earlier in the video, and rather than just on the side of the road, in more of a safety area where there's an exit on I-64 East going towards the dealership. So it's very, very helpful that was allowed me to coast and get off the interstate in a safe manner. So now that we know what this issue is, the car is back, and I got to tell you, my wife said it as well, this is the cleanest this car has ever been. I've never seen this car this clean, even the day we bought it. I really didn't want them to mess with it anyways the day we bought it, but Tesla in Cincinnati, Ohio, wow, it's gonna be hard to see how clean it is, but I'm telling you, those wheels are phenomenal. And we'll be getting new tires on this car. That's why I was taking it to the dealership the other morning. So we'll take this back to the dealership on Monday, I think, and we'll get those tires installed. So one of the cool things Tesla did is they text me every single time they had an update. And I really wasn't worried about it. Fortunately, I've got enough cars that this one being down wasn't that big of a concern. So I was just like, yeah, whenever. And I actually had told my wife that we probably won't see the car until the week after Thanksgiving, which obviously is inaccurate because it's Friday, the Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. And the car is back in our driveway completely 100% operable. So that was really cool that they sent text messages. Some dealers do it, some dealers don't. I literally called their service number, said it was an emergency because I was on the side of the road. They came and got the car. What I did was I paid, me personally. I didn't even ask them to reimburse me because I think I just wanted to do that on my own. I wanted to get the car off the side of the road. I got it to the dealership where it's safe. It cost me 80 bucks and got it to the dealership. We were in a safe area. I could get to work and be on to more important things than being on the side of the road and allow me to do that. So we got that there. So they came to the dealership, they picked it up with a flatbed, they took it up to Cincinnati, Ohio, they let me know that they got the car there, they let me know that they're going to start working on it, they told me they're going to give me updates all through text message. So now the text message comes in that says, hey, we got it in, we're looking at it, and then on Wednesday afternoon they sent me a text message say, hey, listen, we're replacing the drive unit on the car, and it's going to carry over till Friday, but we'll give you a text update on Friday. So remember, Thursday was Thanksgiving. So I'm like, cool, told my wife, looks like the car's gonna be done on Friday. That's really cool, that's really awesome. It's exceeding expectations. And so here we are. So now Cincinnati calls me and tells me everything's done. Actually, I take that back. They text me and says, hey, everything is done. We got the car in, getting it cleaned up. We're gonna detail it for you, and then we'll call you and let you know that it's back. So then they do call me, and I tell them, no problem, just take it to the house. I was gonna take it to the dealership because I need to do the tires, but then I realized we want to go get a Christmas tree this weekend and stuff like that, so we do that. So I had them just send it right to the house rather than at the dealership. So here we are in the driveway of my house, and the really cool thing was everything just went so smooth. So they also told me exactly what was going on with the car via email. So that is super nice that they gave me this email, and they did some additional services that weren't required, and there was a recall on the car that we didn't know about, but that was replace bolts and steering rack housing and apply wax sealant for left-hand drive rear-wheel drive vehicles. So they did that. They drive unit, rear large drive unit. So there's only a few moving parts on a Tesla. So the biggest one is this drive unit in the back. And the best way to explain this drive unit in the back is basically like an internal combustion engine on all of our normal cars. So this drive unit that got replaced here in the back is now like we have a brand new Tesla. This is a brand new unit, never been used. The housing on the metal box, kind of like your differential, the box that the unit is in is a used box, but everything inside that box is actually all brand new components. So that is all brand new. So we have 43,000 miles on this car, and so now it's like we just went back to zero, because there's not really anything else on this car. We don't have engines, we don't have transmissions, we don't have hardly anything, right? So that's really cool. So they give me a really long detailed description, which I really like. This is an extremely well detailed description of what was done in the car. And then they said, hey, we checked. So back on Tuesday, when now we know the drive unit is the failed part, we start Googling things, because I have a friend at Tesla who I've sold a Volkswagen to, and he basically told me, said, hey, here's the issues, these are what's happening, tells you exactly what time's happening, and he's like, hey, listen, it's under warranty, so you're good. Well, I was still scared that maybe he was wrong, because he's not in the service side of it, so I'm sitting here kind of worried that I'm gonna have a big fix. So I started Googling things, and I started getting cost from, on the forums, of $15,000 to fix this drive unit. Oh my God, $15,000 fix? Are you kidding me? That's like a supercar problem, right? Supercars have $15,000, $20,000, $40,000, $50,000 fixes. So I'm really worried at this point. And then I started Googling drive unit replacements, and I found a couple on eBay that you'll see right here. This is what the drive unit looks like, and they were at $5,000 for a drive unit, a used drive unit, $5,000. I was like, wow. So after the car got fixed, all done, it's under warranty, didn't cost me a penny, thank goodness. And I asked the Tesla service advisor how much it would have cost if this car is out of warranty, because the only two major components on this car is that drive unit in the back and the battery. Those two are the major components of this car. So we have engine, transmission, the major drive assembly, like on that car back there on an ICE car, but we have battery and drive unit on the Tesla. So he told me that it's about $6,000 or $7,000 for the unit, and then the labor to put it in, which it's apparently not a lot of labor to put in. And as I'm sitting here thinking, if we would have had an engine failure in any of these cars that I have around me, you're talking a week, 10 days probably to get everything fixed. So it's pretty amazing. Here is where I challenge the automotive industry to change. There is a shortage of technicians in the country. There's a shortage of qualified people working at dealerships in the country, and there's a shortage of people who just simply care about taking care of other people in the industry. So one of the big things that I've learned about this situation in the last 3 situations with Tesla is they care. They care a great deal. And it just reminds me, it just puts me in perspective that I am too a normal consumer like you purchasing cars, a normal consumer like you doing service to cars, a normal consumer like you doing everyday things. And that puts me in great perspective that when something bad happened to me, and luckily I've got great resources at my hands, that I was taken care of by the people who I am in a situation that's negative. I'm in a situation that I didn't want to do, and I didn't want to be in a situation of inconvenience, which it was, but the inconvenience happened and stuff just taken care of. So A&A Towing here in Louisville, absolutely phenomenal job. Tesla of Cincinnati, phenomenal job, and I just can't say enough about the positive experience that I've had with Tesla every single time, batting 1,000. One of the biggest things that I've learned with Tesla is that I can do everything I need to do right from my phone. I elected to call Tesla to let them know that I needed them. I could have done it through my phone, but I wanted to call them instead. It made me have a little bit better creature comforts inside that I actually talked to somebody rather than sending an email, not knowing if it was gonna go unnoticed or just whatever the case may be. So I called them. But let's just say you want a normal oil change, right? Let's say you want a normal oil change and you call the dealership. How likely are you to get somebody to pick up the phone and to say, yeah, come on in for an oil change, or it's 2 weeks down the road? If you're a dealership executive or a dealership personnel or a dealership manager in charge of these areas, think about it. Call other dealerships and sit there and think, how is my dealership ran? How is it done in my area? Because I can tell you, I know how my dealership runs, and it sucks. It sucks for everybody involved. It sucks for us. It sucks for the customer. And this is not a Bachman Chevrolet problem. This is an industry problem, and we need to change that. And that's my biggest thing that I want to do with my YouTube channel, is change the industry. So I think I'm gonna end the vlog here. I've given you a lot of information. I don't wanna ramble on, because I do ramble a little bit if you haven't noticed. But if there's more questions you have about it, throw it in the comments below. I'll try to answer them, and then also just try to do more in-depth stuff on the Tesla. I've had a lot of people ask me about the Tesla, do more Tesla stuff. And of course, if you are wanting to buy a Tesla, there is a link in the description below that you can use to get a referral code. There's free charging, free supercharging, and some other perks as well. So again, any questions you have, anything that I can help you out customer service wise, I'm here for you. I want to do everything I can for you to have the same experience that I had with this problem here. So again, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Turn your bell notifications on. We're so close to 100,000 subscribers, and I think this is gonna air by the end of November. So if it is by the end of November, we have through November 30th to enter the Apple Watch giveaway, so get into that as well. So thank you again so much for watching. Have a fantastic day and drive safely.